If you look at life from a broader or larger scale, or from the entire image of it, life is basically like a series of choices that we deliberately choose to make. It's a series of choices that we have to live up to for its impacts, and also the type of story that we actually tell ourselves. And so this is a very core and fundamental principle that I want you guys to understand. So I'm going to illustrate this. So imagine this is life. So this is your entire life. And what determines the life is the choices that you make. This consists of the actions that you take. It's basically logical. And where do these choices come from? They are governed by your decisions. So look, choices and decisions sound the same, right? Choices are from the actions. Decision happen in the mind. Decision is what your mind tells you, or what choice is it that you're going to take. You are taking this option, this path. And what governs your decisions? Your perception. Now, there are a plethora of ways to label this. It doesn't have to be perception. It can be your perspective of life, your way of framing things, or how you view life through certain types of lenses. So everybody has different perceptions, and it's kind of shaped by your upbringing. It's shaped by a lot of things, your environment too, the people you deal with, the kind of experiences you had, the circumstances you were positioned in. And if you think about it deeper, decisions and choices are the main ones that make up your life, and the perception is what is going to guide your decisions and sometimes also guide your choices. Let's talk about choices. Are there good or bad choices? In my idea, there are no good or bad choices literally. In like a literal sense, of course, I only describe it as choices that serve you for the better good, and another one not for your own benefit. So maybe something along the lines of regrets or things that you don't want to do. You have to live up to certain choices that you make, and some are quite irreversible, and that is the sad truth. One thing you can do if you want to navigate your way through, okay, making choices that serve you, avoid choices that you will later regret you or will hinder you from living a certain life, then I want you to ask yourself this question: what would the you tomorrow want you today to do? This is a very important analogy because it helps you to depersonalize the gratification of what you want now, serving you tomorrow. Because the decisions and choices you make are not for you now. It's for you tomorrow, for the next 24 hours, for the next week, for the next month, next year, next decade, whatever it is. So you always have to think from another perspective. The tomorrow you is like a friend. You have to constantly go and update it and know what it wants. What story would you want to tell yourself? So all of these things, life, it comes back to create a memory. And this memory is a story you tell yourself, and also the values that are formed, and also the character that you build. And here's another analogy. There are a lot of types of perceptions. Some people want to make 100K a year and think that that's enough. Some people say, oh, I need 50K a year, and that's good. Like, I'm good with that. Some people want 7 figures, and some people want 8 figures. Some people ain't even satisfied with 8 figures. They want power, they want fame, or they want other things. And some people just want family. Is there anything wrong with that? No, there is nothing wrong with that. Everybody is shaped by their unique perception. From early on, whatever you're exposed to, you can't control it. You can't change your perception of things. You just have to take time to rewire your brain of it. So that is by doing things like small behaviors. small actions that will cultivate a new thinking or a new character or a new trait that you want to build. Ultimately, getting back to this, it doesn't just apply to money, it can apply to family, it can apply to relationships with people, anything in life. So the person with 50K will feel content at 50K. If he's really content with that, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just his perception of life. It's his perspective. Will he live better with 8 figures? Yes, he will. But is he okay with 50? Yeah, he's okay. He's got a family. He's got other things going on in his life. He has good social life. And that's basically it. That's his perception of life. So there's ultimately nothing wrong with different perceptions. You just have to find out what suits you the best. You see on social media, there are a lot of gurus, people saying, oh, you have to make like this amount of money to be comfortable with your lifestyle. You have to have a certain type of relationship, certain red flags, green flags, and you're really confused. Well, backtrack it to what you really want. What is your perception of things? What is it that deep down you really want? Go back to your characters, your values, and tell yourself, what is the type of story that I want to narrate for my children, for my future self in the future, of course. And what type of memory do I want to hold? Ask back the question, what would you tomorrow want? Not what other people want, not what society really wants. If you keep listening to what other people want, then what is your perception of life then? What is your perspective? How do you view life as it is? The real truth to being content with where you are is to knowing what you want, what you perceive the world as, or what your perspective on things are. Some people stay single because it serves them for the greater good, can bring them certain things like freedom, like their own independence. And some people regret being single because they're not committed. They feel empty, like a void. Some people are in relationships because it serves them great. They have emotional support. They have someone to lean against and to also share a life with. Some people regret it because toxic relationships exist all the time. And remember, the choices that you make, those choices, you have to live up with it. No matter whatever it is, you have to live up with those choices. Even though if you don't like what you've made, you can't have a time machine to shift back. You have to live up with it. And sometimes it's about accepting it. It's about acceptance and taking the lessons from those choices. We make good choices and bad choices. And in the end, don't let one small choice determine your entire life, because it's a series of choices. Remember, a series of choices. And it's how you make of it. It's how you make of life. So ultimately, I'll end this video here by saying you are the master of your own fate. That is very important. Your own fate is also governed by the choices that you make, the choices that you take. Because the choices that you take will shape certain views you have, certain perceptions. And this fate creates destiny. And that's what life is about.